2013. It was a damn good year for video games. Saints Row 4, Bioshock Infinite, Tomb Raider, Assassin's Creed 4, Last of Us, and many more loved and acclaimed titles became someone's game of the year. But the video game world isn't always covered in flowers. It's a bit like running through a flower field just to step into dog poopy. This game is kind of how it feels. Right to Hell Retribution. You probably all heard about it. The absolute worst game of 2013 or even all time, is what people say. When I saw it on sale on Steam for a reasonable price, I thought, this can't be that bad as people say, right? People on the internet tend to over-exaggerate sometimes. Sometimes. Yeah. The game sounded interesting and the setting brought something fresh to the table. I mean, bikers! Rock and roll! Customizing your bike! Giving the game a credit of trust, I launched it. My first step is always to check the video settings in any game. Let's take a look. Brightness and subtitles? That's it? Oh, I can scroll down. What? If you scroll down, the subtitles option changed from on-off to 1%. Why? What does it mean? Let's just move into the game. New game, easy rider, badass biker, and 1%. Oh! So that's what it was. The options menu used the difficulty label. No, that makes perfect sense. Oh cool, intro cutscene. We can sit down and watch or not. It suddenly throws you in the turret section, not to mention our superhero has hovering jet boots. The game also has no live bar to indicate if you're dying or not. Just cranberry splatters. Oh, another cutscene? Okay. A quick time event? I didn't do anything. And it still carries on? Why? Whose decision was this? Okay, back to cutscenes. Is the gameplay moment gonna be next? No, not yet. And we ramp up over a helicopter. I have no idea what's going on. And I don't think this cutscene helped any of it. So after the can't make up its mind intro, we get the second proper introduction to our story. Our main protagonist is Jake Conway, a biker that just got back from Vietnam. Not the greatest character background, but it'll do. He comes back to his hometown that has a massive tools hardware store that has a 2-nut and a wrench as a logo. Penis jokes, ladies and gentlemen. We're introduced to Jake's uncle Mac and to Jake's brother Mikey, who he greets with the kindest of words you can say to your brother.
Damn, Mikey. Mac wasn't kidding. You've gotten to be one tall sack of shit.
They spend an evening watching soap operas like a family and Mikey runs away from home. It's dangerous to go alone, so Mac makes you chase him on a bike. And you cannot fuck up even once, or you'll just lose him and have to start all over the whole segment. What? What are you saying? The bikes are too loud. Yeah, imagine me doing the rest of this video this way. So, the main villains show up, have a problem with Mikey's jacket for some reason, so we run away. You have another scripted road chase, but this time you're supposed to fend off the other bikers with a quick time event. I chose not to, since the intro gave me a valuable lesson of not doing that. And pays off. Once they see they fail to scare you with punches, they admit that they are failures at life and commit suicide by driving into things and exploding. Yes! Next up we have a hostage situation, and since they don't like Mikey's jacket so much, they cut his throat. Lazy riding at its finest, let's kill a guy who's totally unlikable and the players have no emotional connection to. Drama. So here we go, the most convenient plot, revenge. The graphics of the game aren't so bad as people claim, but they're nothing spectacular either. Nothing else besides a few places having low quality textures here and there. Get ready for another drive, this time in the daylight. Blah blah blah, story boring. For some reason, Jake has sunglasses while he's driving, which aren't present in any cutscene. Here we're also introduced to two new mechanics, boosting and the power slide, that defies any laws of physics. Not to mention the bike sinks inside the road while you're doing that. It's at this point you realize that the bike driving mechanics are totally broken. You're also probably asking, why is this section here? Nothing is happening, you're just driving. No threats, no challenges, nothing. Exactly. It serves none. At least in this form of the game. You see, originally this game was supposed to be an open world game, but was later cancelled and remade as this thing. So I guess these are leftovers that the developers didn't want to throw to waste. Finally, destination! We beat some thugs with a fighting system that feels like a poor man's Batman game. It's way too easy, and you can spam the block breaking kick infinitely. Also, someone decided to shake the camera like crazy whenever you run or do the kick, to the point it's sickening to watch. It's far from being any good. We get to the city, this time without a driving scene, to meet another problem with the game that sticks out like a sore thumb.
What a fine piece of man you are. You look like you need some oiling. Wanna get greasy?
Sorry ladybird, I don't get up to badly written dialogue. Yeah, portrayal of women in this game is terrible. And it's only gonna get worse. The area we're now seems very open, like for exploring. But the second you go too far, the game pulls a battlefield free, get back to the playpen trick and teleports you right back in. So I guess we'll look for that anvil dude, right? Wait, what's that? That helpless woman needs help! So, what's my reward, lady? Money, guns, experience points, or what? Yeah, she rewards you with sex. If you can call that weird humping while you're both fully clothed at sex. Why? Who was this made for? 12-year-olds? This game gets worse and worse by the minute and I have barely started. Moving on to the main story, while looking for Anvil, he tricks us and runs off, so we need to get to our bike. And yay, another bike chase sequence. We force break next to these thugs, he locks himself in a brewery, another bike sequence, we beat up this girl's boyfriend, get rewarded with another awkward sex scene. At this point you probably notice the pattern. You either play a driving sequence or fighting shooting gallery with some awkward sex scenes from time to time. Hell, later on they reuse the same sex scene. After this we're introduced to shooty guns, and it's not that bad, but what makes it terrible is that there's some weird mouse acceleration which makes aiming a bit tricky, but you can get the hang of it after a while. The game finally throws us into combat and we find another major flaw. Enemies die from a bullet to the face, but anywhere else they're a bullet sponge. Heck, whenever I could I'd just run at them and melee them to death. It's much faster. There are a few melee weapons, each having their own execution animation when you counter an enemy. Levels also have those broken bottle icons which allow you to perform a special environmental kill from time to time. Besides that, every level is pretty linear and feels empty in between waves of enemies. Fast forward, we kill Anvil and this is the moment you might go, oh, this actually might have been an open world game. After you're introduced to the town of Dead End, a hub town where you can sell drugs for money, buy new weapons or customize your bike. And let me tell you, customization is one of the best things in the game. It's a bit pointless though, but still cool. You can customize every single part of the bike and paint them all different colors. Like pink. From here, you can choose which boss you wanna go after next, but it's more of the same. Driving scenes that have fighting shooting galleries, ahoy in between. On the plus side, I can say that the environments are varied, and I kinda dig the whole rock and roll music that plays during the missions. The dialogue isn't something spectacular, but it's nothing cringe-worthy either. It has its share of bugs too, but none of the bugs I've encountered were game-breaking. Overall, I gained some sympathy for the game. Yes, it's not the worst game I've ever played, and I think people gave it way too much flack. Yes, it's not good either. Yes, it's buggy, but it works. Yes, it's repetitive as hell, and yes, I'd love to see more of it. The game just feels like a manager just came by one day and said to the dev team, "Hey guys, screw the open world thing, glue what you have together for tomorrow, we've gotta ship the game." And that's what the development team did. They took what they had and duct taped it to oblivion, and where there were content holes, they just copied and pasted stuff from previous levels. It just feels like with the right amount of time this could have been a good game. Not the best game, but good. What happened though? Why did they scrap the open world idea? We'll probably never know.